Okay, let's just dive right into this explainer and systematically unpack the fascinating clinical research behind the LifeWave Energy Enhancer patch. If you've ever wondered how human performance can be optimized without relying on caffeine, sugar, or, synthetic chemicals, well, the science we are about to review is an absolute game changer. We're looking at a completely different paradigm of energy production today.
The power of phototherapy. Invisible light, visible results.
So the absolutely crucial point here is that this non-transdermal patch isn't putting any chemicals into your body. None. Instead, it utilizes a scientifically recognized process called photobiomodulation. Basically, it acts as a biomolecular antenna. Your body naturally emits heat, right? Infrared light. When you place this sealed patch on your skin, it captures that natural heat and reflects very specific targeted wavelengths of light back into your tissues. This light then acts as a signal to trigger specific biochemical reactions inside your cells. It's actually brilliant.
And this perfectly illustrates the dual patch system, which is uniquely designed to interact with the natural magnetic field of the human body. Unlike a lot of single patch products out there, the Energy Enhancer uses two patches to create a bioelectrical circuit of sorts. You've got the white patch, placed on the right side of the body, which contains L-stereoisomers, and then the tan or brown patch, placed on the left, containing D-stereoisomers. Together, these liquid crystal structures form nanoscale antennas that modulate your body's bioelectromagnetic field.
Now that we understand the physical design of the patch, we need to zoom in to the microscopic level. You're probably wondering, how does this reflected light actually transform into physical, usable energy? How does a specific wavelength of light give you the stamina to lift more weight or run a further distance?
Fueling cells with fat, the body's hidden engine.
It all happens through this fascinating four-step process. The specific frequencies reflected by the patches trigger a metabolic process known as beta oxidation. This is where your cells transport and break down long-chain fatty acids straight across the mitochondrial membrane. Now, since your mitochondria are the powerhouses of your cells, feeding them fat instead of just carbohydrates is a huge deal. Clinical testing using pulmonary gas analyzers proves that wearing the patches significantly increases maximum aerobic ATP production, and ATP is the fundamental currency of cellular energy. You are quite literally training your cells to harvest more energy from fat.
It is incredible to see what happens on a cellular level, but what does this actually mean for you when you step into the gym, onto the field, or just go about your busy day?
Let's examine the hard data from double-blind, placebo-controlled studies on college football athletes and healthy adults, boosting strength and stamina, clinical proof.
Just listen to this massive percentage increase in strength endurance. In a double-blind, placebo-controlled study conducted on college football athletes, researchers measured performance during heavy bench press repetitions. They found that athletes wearing the active patches saw their strength endurance jump by an average of 33.9% to 43.2%. Up to 43%? And honestly, the most amazing part? This was measured just minutes after they first applied the patches. No way, right? But the data is there.
Furthermore, clinical trials prove that by increasing ATP availability through fat metabolism, users experience a whole wide range of measurable muscular stamina and power improvements. In comprehensive ergometer bicycle tests on healthy adults, researchers tracked significant gains across the board. We're talking statistically significant improvements in flexibility, like stretch and reach, enhanced grip strength, higher peak speed, and higher peak power and total watts generated. It's a complete systemic upgrade to athletic output.
Now, a massive boost in energy usually implies a chemical crash, a racing heart, or that jittery feeling you get from too much espresso. So let's look at what the clinical data actually says about how these patches affect our stress levels.
Counterintuitively, while designed for extreme energy, the patches actively balance the autonomic nervous system. Balancing the nervous system. Calm under pressure.
Advanced heart rate variability signal analysis taken from clinical pilot studies shows that wearing the patches produces a highly favorable shift in your heart rhythm. The key metric to watch here is the low frequency to high frequency ratio, or LF/HF ratio. After just 15 minutes of wearing the patches, the data shows a significant decrease in this ratio, which actively pulls the heart out of an overstressed state and right into a balanced rhythm.
This physiological shift means you get all the stamina completely without the jitters. A decreasing LF/HF ratio indicates a reduction in sympathetic drive. That's your body's fight-or-flight stress response going down. At the exact same time, it enhances your parasympathetic tone, your rest and digest relaxation response. The whole shebang results in a highly balanced physiological state, often accompanied by a really cool localized skin cooling effect during both rest and exercise. You're generating massive energy, but your nervous system remains entirely grounded.
We've seen the systemic benefits, from the muscle tissues down to the heart rate variability. But we have to ask, how do a couple of localized patches communicate this balancing signal across the entire human body?
Well, the human body utilizes meridians acting as a fiber optic network of collagen fibers that conduct both bioelectrical and infrared signals, enhancing the body's biofield, the fiber optic network. Objective measurements using an instrument called an electroacuoscope confirm that applying the patches significantly increases the electrical conductance of the skin along major anatomical meridians. By placing the patches on specific, known acupuncture points, like lung 1 on the chest, pericardium 6 on the wrists, stomach 36 on the legs, or kidney 3 on the feet, you tap directly into this pre-existing biological wiring.
By targeting these specific points, the patches maximize total body communication to rapidly improve your body's bioelectrical energy flow. The studies indicate that the patches serve as a photonic communicator. They send specific wavelengths that act almost as a bioelectrical stimulus, sweeping right along those meridians and improving the cellular physiological status of various organs. It's a whole system upgrade triggered by highly localized light therapy.
Okay, let's tie all of this dense clinical research together and look at what it means for the future of your health. The future of wellness, micromechanisms, macro results.
The vital takeaway from this explainer is that while you cannot see the phototherapy at work, the cellular fat burning and autonomic balancing are deeply profound and clinically proven. We've traced the journey from invisible infrared light reflecting off microscopic stereoisomers all the way to massive, visible increases in bench press endurance and heart rhythm balance. It perfectly illustrates how optimizing our subtle bioelectric systems yields highly visible, macro-level performance results.
It really leaves us wondering, are we on the verge of replacing chemical stimulants entirely, just by teaching our bodies to capture and reuse their own light? If a simple non-transdermal patch can trigger fat-burning beta oxidation and calm the nervous system at the exact same time, the days of relying on harsh energy drinks might just be numbered. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep questioning, and I'll see you next time.